Welcome to The Author's Journey with #1 international best-selling author and in-demand publisher, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. Today, we'll showcase the works of an amazing best-selling author, find out the story behind their book, and explore ways to bring your message powerfully forward. Now, here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to connect in with you today. Thank you for joining us. We are excited to be talking with powerful, dynamic, amazing best-selling authors, and they are taking time to lean into a candid, real, inspiring conversation to support you on your journey. So welcome. Thrilled to have you joining us today. And part of getting the most out of our time together today is choosing to be fully present. So what that means is you are fully present, mind, body, soul, and spirit, engaged, ready to receive everything that is here for you. And some ways you can kind of dial up that connection is taking a moment to be still and capture some notes. We're going to have a couple times where we're going to encourage you to write some things down. I encourage you to do that. That will help you fully receive everything that's being shared with you during our time together today. I hold this as a sacred, special opportunity that we have to connect in. It's a time for you to receive, you as a listener to be still, to be able to take in, be poured into. So often we are moving so quickly in our lives, we're pouring into others, we're crossing things off the to-do list, we're moving on to the next thing. We forget for a moment to remember to pause. We forget to allow ourselves a time to catch up with ourselves, to breathe deeply, to be fully present so that we can actually hear and receive. So I want to encourage you to choose to be ready to receive, open, taking breath. When we breathe mindfully and purposely deeply, it actually helps us catch up with ourselves. It brings us more present. It helps us release cortisol, release the stress hormones so that we can choose to be more present, have clearer thinking, actually have space to be poured into, supported, encouraged, and receive what is here for us today. So I invite you to take a moment and breathe. And as you're breathing, I want you to think about how powerful are you feeling? Are you feeling in alignment with all that matters to you? What are you feeling? Let's actually feel in and see. What are you feeling? And based on what you're feeling, what is it you need? What will encourage you and support you on your journey? What is it that you need based on how you're feeling? Our expert is powerful and amazing at holding space and helping you step into your true power. So knowing you have us to support you today, what is it you need? What is it that will encourage and uplift you on your journey? And just see with curiosity, what do you need today? Beautiful. And let's add to that knowing that we are here right beside you. You don't have to figure it all out. Just identify what you need and are willing to receive. See if that shifts any of that information. Great. So let's take a moment and just capture those final thoughts. Take a breath. Come back into the room. Eyes open, fully present. And take a moment to write down what you identified that you need or willing to receive. We touched on a little bit of how you're feeling. Where are you feeling powerful? Are you feeling encouraged? Some of those feelings. Great information. just take a moment, write it down, because then you're able to get it out of swirling inside of you and bring it to the conversation. Write it down so you have it top of mind. So as we go through our time together today, we're going to seek to support you in those areas. And then we're going to let you know how to go deeper with our amazing experts. So if we don't touch on all those things that you're looking for support in or we're curious about, you're going to be able to connect in with an amazing expert to take that even deeper with you. So welcome. Take a moment to write that down. And as you're writing those final thoughts, I'm going to bring our amazing expert into the conversation. Seema, I would love for you to share when we took a moment just to stop, pause, and think about our conversation today. What was laid on your heart to share, to bring to the table, to share with our listeners?
Thank you, Rebecca, and thank you for having me on your show today. The thing that came to mind, Rebecca, was that we so often forget that we are powerful and we have all the power that we need. I just want to share that with the listeners today, that they can break free from whatever is holding them back, and they can truly stand in their own power.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that truth with us, that important reminder, so that sometimes you're right, we'll seek outside of ourselves, look elsewhere, not realizing we have that power within and we can bring it forward. And we don't have to do it alone. There are amazing people like you that can walk beside us on our journey as we're looking to stand more and more in our power. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. It's such a timely and important reminder as we are facing such interesting times right now as a society and in the world. That reminder about being able to step into our true power. Now, I'd love to take a moment to where I can more formally introduce you so that our listeners have a little bit more of an understanding of your background and your perspective. Does that sound good?
That sounds great.
Okay, fabulous. So Seema Giri is a #1 international best-selling author, an award-winning author, an international speaker and global summit leader, book compiler, publisher, and holistic lifestyle strategist. She has an extraordinary story of transforming from being in chronic pain and bedridden to becoming a thriving, powerful, successful entrepreneur. She is passionate about helping you break free to truly stand in your power. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and heart-centered Seema Giri to the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I get goosebumps every time I hear my introduction like that because, as you've mentioned, I went from being bedridden and in chronic pain. It just seems like a dream that I'm actually doing all of the things you just mentioned.
Oh, I love it. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm glad that you're taking it in and you're feeling it and celebrating it. So often we just charge ahead to the next thing and we don't stop, pause, and really take in that moment and appreciate all that we have accomplished, the privilege that we have to get to do what we're doing. So I celebrate those goosebumps with you. I celebrate that moment.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, as you're taking it in and really appreciating and embodying all that you are doing and bringing to the table. And I'd love for you to share just a moment about the work you do. Why is this work of supporting people in a holistic way, why is that personally so important to you?
Yes, well, the reason it's so personally close to me is because we so often, and particularly as women, Rebecca, take other people's words as to be true. Even if they're experts, especially if they're experts. So my story is when I was in chronic pain and trying to figure out what was wrong with me, I saw 11 doctors, 11 experts, and they all said to me that I was a hypochondriac, what I was feeling was not real, and I really started to believe them and started believing that I'm going crazy. And but that tiny voice inside of me kept saying, there's something wrong, there's something more. I persisted, and finally the 12th doctor believed me. Had I believed everyone else before that 12th doctor, I would not be doing what I'm doing today. I would be in pain, in misery, maybe not even on this planet anymore, because the pain was unbearable. And for people to say, it's all in your head, was even worse. So I want to be that example. I want to be, everyone's asking for proof. And science these days, everyone is saying evidence-based. So I want to be that evidence-based proof to say that you can listen to your own instinct, to your own gut, and change your reality. For majority of the people, it's possible. There might be, a small percentage where physically they might not be able to, but mentally and with their mindset, they can make that shift where they can lead a better, more fulfilling life.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for being willing to be that proof, being willing to take that stand for all of us. And I know this journey, one of the things that has led to is leading a group of powerful experts and influencers to bring an amazing book forward, an anthology. And just for those listeners who don't know what an anthology is, it's where multiple authors come together. They are led by a compiler who leads the project, and each of them contribute a section or a chapter to come together into a powerful book, a compilation. And we call those anthologies. And I'd love for you to share a couple things about that. Why were you led to do that, to step into this leadership space and bring multiple chapters and stories forward with multiple leaders? I'd love for you to share some of what led to that and what that was like.
Yeah, so this is a perfect example of listening to the universe and trusting in it enough to follow what it brings to you. Writing a book and leading an anthology was never part of my overall grand master plan, Rebecca. And, when you're meant to do something, you're just led in that direction. And I guess that's why I finally met you, because this is how it all came about. So again, trusting that inner instinct and moving forward with what the universe is bringing forward is really, really important. And it just went along with my overall theme of showing people that making that massive change in your life is possible. It's never too late. You can rebound, reset, realign your life at any time and at any age. And we have these everyday heroes that are our family members, our brothers, our sisters, our parents, grandparents, our neighbors. We see them every day, and they have such remarkable stories that we never really know about. So I knew all of these co-authors from before, from various settings. So I reached out to them and asked them to share their amazing stories, because each one of them has a remarkable story of a major life challenge that they have been able to overcome. And these are men, women, people from different backgrounds, different cultures, different age, different profession, and they're able to have like a second inning, a second act, from what they were doing before. They were able to remove themselves from the expectations of family and society, really listen into their inner wisdom, and go within, and find out what is that true purpose that they are supposed to have in this life, be their life purpose and their gifts that they're supposed to share in the world.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So powerful. And what is this powerful book called, for those that are curious and wanting to lean in and perhaps get a copy? So what is it called, and where can they find a copy?
Okay, so the title is Break Free to Stand in Your Power.
Perfect. It's so in alignment. I love it. Perfect title. And where can they get a copy?
They can get a copy on Amazon, Amazon.com. All they need to do is search for the title, Break Free to Set in Your Power with Seema Giri, and it'll pop right up. The Kindle version and the soft copy cover version is available.
Perfect. Thank you. That's fabulous. We are getting ready to go to our first commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, I want you to think about that. Have you shared your story about standing in your power? What are some of those things that you have discovered you have maybe even are being led? I love how Seema shared that earlier, being led to do. Maybe it wasn't part of your master plan, but it keeps coming up to share your story, to bring information forward, to write that down. I want you to take a couple minutes during this commercial break to write down some of those thoughts that are bubbling up in you. Either a prompting of where you can step a little bit more into your power, maybe some of a story you are called to bring forward. Let's take this moment to capture some of those thoughts, and then we'll continue our conversation in just a moment.
Have you friended us on Facebook yet?
Why not?
Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for the keywords Voice America. Once you are part of our Facebook network, you'll receive daily messages about what's happening with our shows, this week's featured guests, and new happenings at the Voice America Talk Radio Network. And you can add your voice to the always active discussions on our timeline. Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for Voice America.
Join Rebecca Hall-Greider every week for her new podcast, The Author's Journey. Spend some time getting to know best-selling expert authors, discuss and listen to their journey, and find out what works for them and what hasn't. If you're an aspiring author, you'll want to hear their amazing tips that help you in your own author's journey. Each program helps you discover your own gifts and bring them and your message forward. The Author's Journey. Listen for new episodes on the Voice America Variety Channel.
Get the news on our shows and other happenings by following us on Twitter. Find us at Voice America TRN or twitter.com/Voice America TRN.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes. You had an opportunity to listen and capture some of your thoughts about what's being laid on your heart. Where are you wanting to step more into your power? Perhaps something Seema shared so powerfully about your journey is being crying, in a sense, calling to you to be shared with another. Listen to that prompting. We all have amazing stories, amazing information and gifts that we can bring to the world. And one of the powerful ways you can do that is through writing, speaking, sharing when you have those opportunities. And I want to encourage you to lean in to sharing, stretch your comfort zone a little bit to sharing just a little bit more of you. And with that, I know we're just sharing the title of this powerful #1 international best-selling book that Seema was both an author in and the compiler leading that project. And she was sharing where you could get it. And I just wanted to touch on a couple more pieces around your powerful book. So one, what was it like to go on this journey? Because I know it's a long journey to bring a book forward and then to launch it and have it be received so powerfully internationally. What was that like?
Rebecca, it was an amazing journey to be able to guide 17 experts who are already experts in their field, and to write their chapters in a powerful way where it would not only serve the readers, but also themselves. At least 10 of them had their own transformational journey to the next level. It was an ascension through this journey, and that was such a beautiful thing to be part of, to guide them to that and to see the transformation.
I love it. I love it. And then I know when you released the book, you showed up on all of these different platforms. And at the same time as you were releasing it, you did a global summit. So all of this visibility reaching around the world, not only with this powerful book, the amazing content, all of your experts. What was it like to lead that? Was there something that surprised you in that as you stepped into all of that visibility, all of that leading on such a global level?
Oh, it was amazing, and it really made me think on my feet. I had promised my co-authors to give them a live book launch, a live event, but with the pandemic, we had to turn things around very quickly. And I did not know when I would be able to do a live event. So I had to really think on my feet and think, while I'm being in service to my authors, what can I do that would really give them the visibility that I had already promised them? So then we came up with this International Virtual Summit and book launch. And because of our global reach and our international affiliations for so many years, we were able to turn this around in 2 weeks. So we had covered 24 time zones. It ended up being a 15-hour launch, but we had 25 wonderful speakers, and then every single author was able to share on that platform, and they all became an international speakers because of this. So they got a lot more out of this than they had anticipated.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And I love your, pulling back the curtain there and saying, hey, we had to shift courses here a little bit and find another way. And that another way ended up being so powerful and creating such an opportunity for everybody. Was there a surprise in any of that? Something that you didn't expect that was amazing that happened?
What really surprised me and touched my heart was that people like they're celebrities in their own right. Dr. Giri, she's a global woman leader, a first woman officer in India to hit the highest ranks. She made herself available immediately. I've known her for some time. We worked together before. And then Dr. Sanjeev Chopra, who's also Dr. Deepak Chopra's brother, he made himself available. He's also one of the reviewers of the book. So very prominent people like that, along with the other 25 speakers, international speakers we've had, and performers like Valerie, and who had opened up for Michelle Obama. She was opening up for me here. That they responded in a very quick and efficient way and were willing to be part of this. That just touched my heart, blew my mind that, these are very busy people who plan months ahead. But I think also due to pandemic, that added as an advantage for us.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I love that one that you led in and you were courageous enough to ask, because sometimes people are intimidated or afraid to ask, and you did that. And they were moved to say yes and lean in and be part of your book launch, part of the virtual summit, and helping reach so many people. I love, love, love that. Thank you for sharing. Do you have any advice for someone? It's powerful. Do you have any advice for someone who is thinking about bringing their book forward or sharing their story? Any advice to our listeners today on that?
Yes. Sharing your story in a written format is a very different way, and you're seen in a very different way. But it's also very fulfilling, and it's a transformational experience for yourself. Even though you might have already transformed, it's another level up. If you've gone through a very difficult time, and this I heard from Lisa Nichols, which really impacted me. She says that if you've gone through a really difficult time in your life and you're still here, that's the story that needs to be shared. That is not for you to keep. It is for you to share so others can learn from it. And you go through something like that because others are meant to hear it from you and learn from you. So do share, because I'm sure all the listeners here are in a way trying to be in service to others. your story is the most powerful story that they can ever hear from you. So don't be shy about not sharing it. It's very, very important, and it's very, very fulfilling.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And is there anything, I just reflecting on your journey, I'm reflecting on this powerful, powerful book that has been brought forward, was received in so many amazing ways around the world. Is there something in it that you originally envisioned that the readers would receive? And then as it was released, how did that shift or change? I'd love to know that too.
I think my vision for this book was not as big as it became. It just kept growing and growing as the book was being built. And I think that was because of all the powerful chapters by the 17 co-authors that are in here. Because we all expanded through this experience. We all grew. We were surprised at our own personal growth. And I think that just added to the energy of the book and the way it has been received. Beautiful. And I love that you were willing to let it expand and grow, that you didn't try to, no, go back in your container. Like you allowed it to expand and reach and become all that it is meant to become. Is there a piece that you want to share from the book, or either a little bit of a reading or something that you hope readers receive and get out of reading the book? I would like to share a review that was done by Dr. Sanjeev Chopra. He's professor of medicine at Harvard Medical School and a best-selling author, which was really profound for me. So he says that Break Free to Stand in Your Power is an elegant and inspiring collection of chapters. Reading these magical stories and imbibing the many life lessons shared in them will cause your spirits to soar to greater heights and help you achieve your full potential. I think this is a great summary of the book.
Beautiful. I was just letting that sink in. What a powerful review. Thank you for sharing. So one more time, where can we get this fabulous book? Give us the title one more time, just in case anyone missed it earlier. I want to make sure they know where to find it.
Sure. It is Break Free to Stand in Your Power, and it is available on Amazon. It's available in the Kindle version and the soft cover copy version.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. As we get ready to go to our next commercial break, I want to encourage you to just take a moment and write down any thoughts that are touching your heart, your spirit, as you have heard Seema share so powerfully and candidly about the journey, what it was like to lead leaders, what it was like to let the book expand, to be launching the book during a pandemic, and the challenge and then opportunities that were created by that. So take a moment to just really process, take that in. And when we come back, we're going to let you know how to go deeper with Seema, as well as share a couple of tips and important reminders to support you on your journey. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Get the news on our shows and other happenings by following us on Twitter. Find us at VoiceAmericaTRN or twitter.com/VoiceAmericaTRN.
Join Rebecca Hall-Greider every week for her new podcast, The Author's Journey. Spend some time getting to know best-selling expert authors, discuss and listen to their journey, and find out what works for them and what hasn't. If you're an aspiring author, you'll want to hear their amazing tips that help you in your own author's journey. Each program helps you discover your own gifts and bring them and your message forward. The Author's Journey. Listen for new episodes on the Voice America Variety Channel.
Have you friended us on Facebook yet? Why not? Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for the keywords Voice America. Once you are part of our Facebook network, you'll receive daily messages about what's happening with our shows, this week's featured guests, and new happenings at the Voice America Talk Radio Network. And you can add your voice to the always active discussions on our timeline. Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for Voice America.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. You had an opportunity to really take in all that was being shared with you and see what it is speaking to you, what is coming up in your heart and spirit, and that constant reminder, and this is something I keep hearing from you, Seema, and I think it's so important, about share your story. You need to share your story. That transformation, that thing that you have survived is meant to be shared by you. And that was so, so powerful. I really appreciate you sharing, and I appreciate your willingness to lean in and share with so many. And not only have you led this powerful project, brought this amazing book forward that is touching so many people's lives, and I see it continuing to ripple out. I know that you have a podcast that you're leading, and you have some other exciting projects as well. So I'd love to start with podcasts. Can you share a little bit about the podcast?
Yes, Rebecca, my podcast is called Break Free to Brilliance, and it's about people sharing their stories of a remarkable recovery or remarkable challenge that they have been able to overcome and create the life that they have always wanted.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm. And how can they tune in and get involved with it?
Sure. We are on Apple Podcasts. You can just search for the name Break Free to Brilliance. We're also on Spotify and Google. And so if you just Google that, Break Free to Brilliance or Seema Giri, that should come up.
Okay, perfect. And then what are some exciting things that are coming up that you're launching or you're looking to launch or you're building? We'd love to know about it.
Yeah, well, thank you for asking that, because I had so much fun with Break Free to Stand in Your Power that I decided to do 3 more at the same time.
I love it.
So I have a Break Free series happening. My second one is called Break Free to Peace, Love, and Unity. So these are stories of love, peace, and unity, and how we can come together within ourselves, our families, our own society, and then have that ripple out effect to our society overall, and how we can make this just a better place, a better world. Mm-hmm. That we can all enjoy. And then the second one is Break Free to Health and Vitality. This is,
nice.
Our healthcare and our way of living is changing so much. How do we maintain our health and increase our vitality and really live full out? So this is going to be by doctors and health coaches and wellness entrepreneurs.
Beautiful.
And my third one that I'm still enrolling authors for is called The Art of Leadership, Leading Confidently in Any Season. So it doesn't matter whether you're in a pandemic or good times or bad times, depending on how the economy is, strategies change. And so this is great for, global leaders who have done something unique in leading their tribe.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I love that you loved it so much. It's multiplying. And you've created such a dynamic and powerful series. As you were sharing a little bit about each, I was just struck by all the different ways that you are lifting up more experts and leaders and helping people continue to break free in so many different ways. So thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for your willingness and your saying yes to that calling to share your story and then create opportunities for so many people to step forward. Now, what about those who feel a calling in regards to one of those books, or they want to go deeper with you? What's the best way they can get more of Seema?
Yes, they can reach me at my email, Seema@seemagiri.com. Also on Facebook, I have a group, Break Free to Stand in Your Power. And those are the best ways to reach me. Or my website, seemagiri.com.
Perfect. And then I understand you have a free gift, so there's just even more. So can you share how what your free gift is and where listeners can go to get a copy or take advantage of it?
Yeah, so my free gift is available on my website, seemagiri.com, and it's called 10 Ways to Live a Dynamic Life. We sometimes forget how to really live in the moment and in our brilliance. So this is a great reminder. 10 Ways to Live a Dynamic Life on my website, seemagiri.com.
Beautiful. Thank you. And then I wanted to give you an opportunity. You have shared so beautifully and deeply with us, both your journey and what it's been like bringing the book forward and stepping into the space that you are now in and the lives that you are touching. Was there anything else on your heart and spirit, just like when we open the show, that as we bring our show to a close, that you want to share with our listeners today?
Yeah, Rebecca, especially with this year, 2020, the way pandemic has hit us, many of us, particularly women, it's everyone, but I think particularly women, feel even more frustrated that they haven't been able to reach their goals or reach what they wanted to do this year, and really bring them down and feel really guilty about it. One of the advice I would like to give to come out of that is to reset your expectations and be like you would with your best friend to yourself. Express loving kindness to yourself. Reset expectations. Realign yourself. What can you get done most powerfully between now and the end of the year? And be more loving and express kindness to yourself like you would to a friend, rather than beating yourself up for it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that important reminder, being willing to reset expectations, to be extra kind to ourselves as we are looking towards the end of the year into the beginning of the next. Beautiful, beautiful reminder. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for taking time out of your busy, expanding schedule to talk with us today. I appreciate that. I know my listeners do as well. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for this opportunity, Rebecca, for helping me get my voice out even more. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been my honor and my privilege. And listeners, thank you for connecting in and joining into this conversation as we talk to amazing, powerful, heart-centered, best-selling authors that are bringing their messages forward, and in spending time with us, they want to encourage us on our journey, that we are stepping more into our power. We are stepping more into bringing our stories and our voices forward, because I believe what the world needs is more of you. And I want to encourage you to step forward, to tell that story, to bring that message forward that is on your heart, that is on your spirit. If we can help in any way, I want to encourage you to reach out. I'm always happy to have a conversation to support you on your journey. You can always send us an email at Rebecca@yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Again, that's Rebecca@yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. And we'll be happy to support you and encourage you on your journey. As you go back out into the world, I want you to stretch today. As you are looking at and kind of resetting expectations and encouraging yourself on as you would your best friend, I want you to always so encourage you to stretch just a little bit more. Find a way to share just a little bit more of your story. I promise the world is waiting to hear it. I look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to The Author's Journey. Please join Rebecca Hall-Greider for another edition of the Author's Journey podcast every Monday on the Voice America Variety Channel. And until we talk again, use some of the tips and inspiration from today's show to guide you as you lean in to bringing your message forward.